I hope you're well. Welcome to my channel. If you've not been here before, it's where I talk about twin flame process. And this is going to be a reading for the equinox, which we're in right now. So today is the 20th of March 2021. Okay, so let's see what comes up. Right. Okay, so what they're showing me is judgment card, which is all about destiny. And they're showing me that picture that's on the judgment card. And it's like it's on stage and there are all these hands reaching towards it like an audience. So I can see the heads and I can see all the arms stretched out. So that is representing the collective really, and the fact that we're all heading towards this destiny and we all want it, right? So we all want the ending of the journey. We want the destined arrival of the physical manifestation of the masculine half of the twin flame template. The other thing that they're showing me the Ten of Cups, which is happy relationship and conclusion. So that's also where we're heading. I'm getting a plane taking off, which means arrival to destination as well. All right, so they're jumping these out, so I might as well go with these actually. Got the Nine of Pentacles. That is the feminine aspect in her earthly presence. So that's the incarnated life of the feminine aspect of the twin flame connection. So this is her arrival at her destiny, a singular point of destiny, which is operating from higher self. Higher self is a bird on the arm, being really thoroughly grounded into her incarnated life. So there's a lot to say in that, right? Because this journey is a journey of being kind of taken away from your physical life into an energetic process that you're aware of. So it's giving you insight and ability to operate from an energetic perspective and to witness the unraveling of your life from an energetic perspective. So there's a taking away from yourself in this process that allows you to see the process itself, and that comes in all the signs and the synchronicities, the things that look like coincidences between you and your twin, which of course are synchronicities and that are just leading you into awareness of the connection. Also, everything that goes on between you and your twin and the higher level meaning of that actual physical connection. So once you become aware of the energy and then you're able to see everything on the physical level in your incarnated existence as a projection of that energy and a much more meaningful reason for everything in your physical life than would meet the physical eye. Especially, there are things that occur on this journey like long separations from the one that you're connected to, long separations in the physical of disconnection, which looking at it from the physical eye would appear that there is no connection. And if you asked anybody outside of the connection itself, or outside of the collective perhaps, they wouldn't see that connection. It's like a personally, it affects you so personally, this journey, because you have to come into your own authority of your own experience, and you're not coming into really the authority of a physical experience until you come into authority of the energetic experience, whereas what you can't see with a physical eye, you can certainly feel through every other level, because this connection is fourfold, right? So it comes through the vibration, connected vibration, connected mind, connected emotions, so feelings connected, and connected actual physical, through the physical as well, in lots of different ways, which is not really spoken about much out there, because it's even more amazing, right, and wondrous that what actually goes through your physical bodies can be very, very the same, if not similar. And you can have your twin working through your physical body. And I've had an experience of that, which I might share actually later in this reading. But, well, many actually, but one quite significant one. But anyway, she is the completion of the journey, because what evolves through the, first of all, the physical life, and then returning to energy. So being guided to understand that your energy, that your vibration primarily, physicality only follows that and is only for a short time. And then you go back to being vibration again. Once you appear to cease existing in the physical world, you go back to vibration. So, and then actually at the end of your awareness of that, you come back into the physical. So it's about a dominant physical energy, like a dominant, what's dominant now in terms of the feminine is the feminine being returned to earth. And that means being returned to her physical existence, grounded into the physical existence as at a different place than she came into the journey. So it's also the destination point, which goes from like the weak or wounded or disempowered empath to the strong, resilient, will-powered, willful, strong empath, empowered empath. So that's the journey as well that you go through as a feminine on this route. So this is where we're at right now, right? It's coming back into that position in the physical world where you're actually ready for a physical reunion, because you'll be able to, because when you're ready is when you're able to actually contain that physical reunion in the physical world and not have it go out again. So the completion of the feminine is where she's ready for that, and for that to come in and for it to be managed, basically. Managed vibrationally through that understanding, and managed in the physical through that vibrational understanding, and also just through resilience in the physical. And a certain amount of willpower as well, because your willpower is your ego that you have. There's a good side to the ego. That's the personality, the willpower, the choices, the decisions, the magnification of who you are into your physical environment, the ownership and the authority over your individual incarnated experience. That's loving yourself, self-worth, self-value, believing that you've got a right to exist, knowing that you're just as good as anybody else, and everybody got their strengths. Everybody might have what appear to be weaknesses. Doesn't make anybody better or worse than anybody else. Everybody is here to do their own thing. So again, like completion is this let go point, this freedom point of being, knowing who you are and allowing everybody else to be who they are, not being corded to them not being corded to you. And that's everybody else in the whole world, including your twin. But of course, that's a destined arrival that we've got coming, like they said in the first place. So that one you let go, but it comes back. The rest you let go and they just go. Basically, the rest of the world goes, one comes back. So that's that. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Equinox, so it's spring as well. You can see she's in the garden, and the garden is spring. Everything's starting to grow. The birds are out. Butterflies are coming out. Insects are coming out. Right, everything's starting to come to life again. So that's where we are right now in terms of the feminine. Get outside, enjoy the outdoors, enjoy being in the outdoors, being around growing nature, living nature. All that stuff, it's very, very good for grounding. Just getting your hands on a bit of earth or a bit of a plant, being in the fresh air, all that kind of stuff, very grounding. We've got the King of Cups coming out, so that's the heart of the masculine. So all this grounding and this self-fulfillment of the feminine, where she comes into her self-authority. And there's like a clicks into place where it's just like, I'm just here for me. I'm not here for anybody else. I'm here to live this life. I'm here to get as much as I can out of this lifetime. That's why I've incarnated. So that's what the knowing is, right? Around why we incarnate, is to get as much out of it as possible. And that's through an individual physical effort of just being here and doing what you enjoy and doing more of that, and being corded to your own environment that you're in, and loving what you can and loving more of that, and letting go of what you don't and leaving more of that behind, as in just not thinking about it or worrying about it. And that includes him, right? So this, if we've got feminine, we've got masculine, we call them her and him because it's just easier for me when I read these things. So King of Cups, this is the heart of the masculine. So the masculine has to come into ownership of the heart as well, which is self-love. So he's not far behind her, as you can see, because his heart is coming in behind this, where we're at right now in terms of the feminine, right? Masculine coming into the heart. Again, there is disconnect in this, right? Because it's like she's got to come into her heart and own her own individual life. It's not really including anybody else at this point. This heart of the masculine is about the masculine owning their heart and their life, and it's not really including anybody else at this point. That's why we always say this connection isn't romance. It might come in, there is levels of romance there to trigger it through its process. But the connection is about a lot more than romance, and it's not about romance when it comes back in. It's about everything else but romance, like a circle within a circle, you could say. Right, romance being an outer circle and an inner circle, which is everything else that it has to be about before it can become that outer circle, because the goodness is in the circle in the middle, which is self-authority here and self-authority here. Self-value, self-value, self-love, almost self-aggrandizement, really loving the self in both. Like, I will be, I'm first and foremost in my experience here in the physical world. I'm first and foremost here in my experience in the physical world, and then let's come together and let's see where we can take this together as one, right? So it's very different from the old style romantic partnerships that go up and down. The energy goes up and down because you have the masculine coming in with talk of romance and the feminine playing a role, smiling, saying yes, and then you have the masculine not being able to meet that expectation at one single point in one moment. They don't send the right Valentine's card, they don't get the chocolates you like, they don't turn up for a date, they, whatever it is, one moment, and the whole thing breaks apart again, because we have expectation and disappointment, and then we have self-flagellation, and then we have resentment. So that's how normal relationships work, right? Generally, unless there's a lot more understanding and they're derived as something other than romance, basically. Solid agreement, equals equal partnerships. But anyway, so we've got the masculine heart right there. Oh, I'm going from here, aren't I? Masculine made manifest, so the King of Pentacles, which is a manifestation of the masculine. So where we're at in the process, feminine and authority of her process, masculine yet to come into the heart at this equinox, physical manifestation of the masculine, due arrival, like they say. So the physical reunion is a point of destiny. It's not the whole destiny, but it's a point of it. So we've got that coming there. Fruition in the physical world, Seven of Pentacles. So he's coming. There we have him coming. Vibration of the feminine, Queen of Wands. So that's what that is, right? He's coming on top of the vibration. So it's the vibration of self. It's a twofold process, right? Like we said, because you've got the existence in the physical and understanding what that is for, to enjoy the physical. That's enjoying physical manifested things. It's not enjoying feelings, and it's not enjoying thoughts. It's enjoying the physical environment. It's enjoying the nature, the countryside, animals, plants, things like that. Anything, swimming in the sea. Can be things like cooking, creativity, anything creative, painting, drawing, sewing, knitting, crochet, all those things. Could be working with wood, carving wood, things like that. Anything that gets your hands into something that is of the physical world, that's natural, that isn't, it wouldn't be, for example, looking on your phone. No, not really. Not right now, because it's the equinox. It's the turn of the seasons, right? So it's about nature at this point. So there's that, right? And then there's vibration. And the vibration is just being in harmony with your soul self, really, which is accepting of everything that is in your current physical environment, because you're here, because your soul, if you want to call it soul, your vibration, your spirit, decided to come here for this experience and knows everything. That's why we can do readings, because the spirit, the vibration knows everything, right? So it's like, even when you're in a position in the physical world where you're not, where the moment feels like it's contrary to an expectation of that you would like from the egoic perspective, right? The fear ego, your soul knows better than that. Your vibration knows better. It knows that everything is happening for a reason, especially on this journey, because you have to go in and out of ego, in and out of the fear ego, that is, because we've got the two egos, the personal ego, personality, and the fear ego, which is a collective ego. So, like we say, the vibration is just like the mirror image, really. Just like that is. It's like physical life, vibrational life, and harmony between that. So it's just acceptance of the present moment. That's all it can ever be. When we're talking about spiritual life, it's not about pretending you don't exist in the physical world and focusing on only false illusions of sacrifice and suffering that come through, like a lot of major religions, or even some like more modern spirituality. It's not about that. You're here for a reason. The reason is to enjoy the physical world. That's the spiritual life, right? So, and then it's kind of like acceptance around that is the only thing the vibration wants. And then the vibration can, if you're more in harmony with that feeling of acceptance, the vibration can bring you what is more of what you're loving. It's like we say, it's like loving what you love and loving more of that and finding more to love around that. And then not feeling anything or thinking anything at all about the things that you don't love. So it's not coming to an agreement around them or a justification or opinion. It's just not having opinion, not thinking about them at all, not judging them at all. That's the letting go, right? And that's when vibration brings you more of what you love, because all you're doing is being in love with what you love and loving more of it, and you get more of what you love. Otherwise, if you think about what you don't like, you're going to get more of that because you're thinking about it. All right, so that's that. And then we've got bringing this masculine into the heart. So you can see how that's connected to bringing that in, because loving more of what you love is being in a place of love, right? Loving yourself in every single way is being in a place of love, right? That, whatever love that is, however much love you can bring into your physical experience just by loving, right? Just by loving whatever is right there, right now, is the amount of love you're putting into this connection, the heart of the masculine. So it's not about really having to search for things or run round in circles to try and find more love. It's just about whatever is right now. You could love like I'm looking around the room. What could I love? There's half a toilet roll sitting there on the table. I could love that. I love that I have that. So when my nose runs or whatever, I've got half a toilet roll there. I've got some seeds growing on the windowsill. They're starting to sprout up. I'm loving those. I'm loving that I've got more packets of seeds there ready to get planted. I'm loving my curtains, actually. They look really, really good today. So, whatever can you love around yourself? Love how you're feeling. Go towards yourself in a more feeling sense as well. Like that is like tangible feeling. Like, how does my body feel today? Let me just notice every single little bit of my body and how it feels today, so that I really know myself, and then I can really love myself. And that's how you heal all illness as well, by going towards your physical body and loving it, just as a matter of fact, So, but anyway, loving, bringing the masculine into a place of loving so we can bring about the physical manifestation of the masculine. You'll see it's never about him. So it's never about loving him. You may do that and you may have that, and that exists within you because you're actually the same person. So of course you do. But how you love that person and bring this about is by loving yourself, not by going out yourself and extending out of yourself and trying to wind yourself around that person, either physically, emotionally, energetically, or mentally, and love them. That will never bring it in because it's in you. It's your vibration. It's theirs. That's them. So you've got to love yourself, right? And that's how you bring it about. That's how that one comes to love themselves, and that's how they manifest. Because they're manifesting through an energetic connection. So the love is in the energetic connection, and it's how much you love yourself in requirement to how much you're here. So whatever you're doing here right now, love it. Fruition, coming into the physical dimension. That's how it happens, right? The result here. What else have we got? Brand new beginning in the physical world coming out. Ace of Pentacles. So you can see it's all like coming on board, right? Let's just move these down here because I get some more out. Heart of the masculine. Move into physical manifestation of the masculine. Fruition. Into the physical world. brand new beginning, physical world, Ace of Pentacles, all moving from this point of the equinox, which is this here in her, and then what's coming, Three of Wands. So that's how it's coming in. That's how it manifests. From this point onwards, let's get some more out and see if they say anything else, all right? Anything else we need to know? The world, completion and the end of the journey, the circle back to self. So when you come here from what is just vibration, what is electricity, what is energy, and manifest into the physical existence in an appearance of separation from source into a physical endeavour, an individual endeavour, the circular journey is coming back to the point of energy, freedom, the world, the end of the journey, which is understanding that you're only a manifestation of vibration. So there's no end to the journey. The circle never breaks. Never breaks. Right? So there's nothing therefore to be scared about or worried about ever. Why would there be? Nothing to be scared of. Right? So, to put it quite bluntly, somebody could appear to die tomorrow, but they're not going anywhere. They're still here. They're vibration. Anyone you've ever known that appears to have died yesterday, the day before, the year before, they're still here. They're part of your vibration. The circle never breaks. Energy is everything. It's oneness, and it's all inside of you, right? And in that, there's no fear, right? Because what is there to fear then? If that's the truth, you can't fear anything else, because that's the biggest fear out there, especially these days, right? Everybody's banging on about that fear of death. But there's, that puts everything else in the shade, doesn't it? If you can get over that fear and see that on a higher level, puts everything else in the shade. That bill that lands on the doorstep, or the neighbour that you don't get on with, everything comes to a point of let go with that. Okay, what we got here? King of Cups. Feminine over masculine. Strength and healing. Number 8, it's a spiral of energy. So again, it's just arriving at that point. It's juxtaposition between the head and the heart. You could call it the high heart, which is the point of energetic reunion. It's complete let go inside the self of all fear. Let go of all fear. It happens, right? I'm not telling you to, because it'll just happen when it's got to the time that it's supposed to happen. And here as well, energetic point of no fear. No fear in the feminine, no fear in the masculine. Right in the middle, into the heart we go, right? Into the heart he goes, expands from the heart, feeling a let go, no fear at all. Manifestation now, Four of Pentacles. So soon as there's no fear, basically. Nothing is ever stuck, nothing is ever blocked, nothing is ever wrong. The only thing that is you're here, right? Live your life and view it from a higher perspective, and then you can let go, and then you'll not be in fear. So that's quite simple, right? Or you can choose to cord yourself to your fear ego and see a life as being limited, and that you're not going to get everything you want in this lifetime, and therefore be fearful of the whole experience and everything in it. So you've got two choices of how you operate. One is freedom. One is the spiral, the let go, the 0 point, the high heart. Into the masculine we go with that, right? And there we have the moment of manifestation of the masculine into physical form through that element of no fear that we're talking about. 7 of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, which is a pure point of energy, and again, manifestation. So if you see the process clearly, right, then you can understand how that feeling is when it happens, right? It's just a feeling of absolute freedom and clarity, a kind of feeling of nothingness and a feeling of no agenda at all over your physical life. Like, whatever is whatever is. And maybe there's a bit of laughter that comes with that, a feeling of, when you skip into your high heart, you do feel really free, and you feel like just bursting out with song or laughing. It just comes, right? So maybe that's how it feels inside you. Ace of Pentacles. Desires, so brand new beginning around desires that haven't been met. I mean, there's whole stories there, isn't there? Backstories of desires that haven't been met. We've all got that. We've all had that experience in these connections. But a brand new starting point regarding all desires that haven't been met. So what's really true about this journey as well is that every single desire you've ever put into your vibration, from the minute you understood that you had desires around connection to somebody that you were connected to, or wanting that from somebody in a physical form, right? So having a desire of love from outside of yourself. As soon as you started putting those into your vibration, and that's whenever you thought about them or whenever you desired them, they are in there, and that will be reborn into the physical dimension as well. So all desires will be met. So, you know, in the brain of the feminine, there's always a lot of questions, and the questions are always around this backstory and this, like, well, this happened and that happened and then this happened and I never got this from it and it never did this and we never went there with it and it just broke off and da 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 da, and he's never come back for this, and you know, and all these questions around these desires that haven't been met. You've got to let go of them, right? Because if you don't let go of them, all you've got in your vibration there is opposing them being met by you saying that you never had them, they never came in, they still haven't come in. All that is opposition to what you want, right? So you've got to let go of that. That's the fear ego. That part of you that does that, it's the fear egos. Let go of that. Okay, because they will be met. Just know they'll be met. This point here, where things turn up in the physical world, is a really clear point of energy. It's like 0 point, when there's no back and forth in ego, fear ego, around these desires not being met. Okay, what's coming? 3 of Wands. Heartbreak, coming out in 3 of Swords. So we've still got this energy of heartbreak being around, right? So feel that in your physical body. It's coming through the high heart again. It's like a feeling of, it's like what it's representing is where things manifest into the physical world. So they're turning from energetic into physical. So it's like you are kind of, it's like energy ripping through into the physical dimension. You know, like in all the sci-fi things and that where they talk about rips in the cosmos and all that stuff. It's just like that, really, because where you're feeling this emergence into the heart of the masculine here, right? It's got to break through. It's a breaking through. It's an energy coming through. So you can't have something breaking through first into the heart space. Well, first of all, it breaks through the feminine because she's got to go through all of that process, which is heartbreak. If you put it in a nutshell, whatever else you wanted to call it, and we call it many things, right? Ascension, we call it the purge, we call it the backstory, we call it the history, we call it the physical experience as well, because just being human is living in the fear matrix, so that can be very painful when you don't understand that it's vibrational at source. So there's heartbreak there, right? And in that process, bringing the masculine into the heart, there's heartbreak there because that's got to break through into the heart. So that's done. And then in the energetic reunion and it coming into the physical dimension, manifesting, there is what is breaking through there as well, right? And the feeling of heartbreak, because it's a profound feeling of letting go, of the masculine letting go of any last fear and moving forward through that fear, right? And the amount of time it spends in that heart area as well, you're going to keep feeling that heartbreak coming through. It feels like having someone reach into your chest and pull out your heart. It's a very physical experience of heartbreak. It's not mental, right? It's not thinking, because thinking is not the heart anyway. So it's not thinking about them. That's not what we're talking about. That's not the heartbreak feeling. And it's not loving, right? It's a feeling of pain, actual physical pain, and it comes through the heart. And what you're feeling there is the masculine heart breaking as they come into self-love. That's another energetic point there, right? In terms of it turning up. desires that haven't been met. Well, it's not just one person here that had desires that weren't met, it's two. And maybe one didn't get them met from the other, but the other didn't allow themselves to meet their own desires either. This one, the whole, physical manifestation of this journey is one person who's very shut off from love, and the other person who is also shut off from love, but maybe not so much. So it's all there in both of them, really. Right, and what's coming is through the opening of the heart again. I'm going to get another one out, and this might get a couple out, and then that'll be it. Let's have a look. So we've still got heartbreak energy coming through, but you can now see, right, this is really good. So when you're feeling it in your physical body and you're feeling it coming through your centre of your chest, the high heart, the heart space, it's where you're nearly there, right? And you might feel like, I just don't want this. I just want this to go away. I just want to walk away from this. I'm over this. Why have I got this feeling still? So this over this, right, is actually when you're not thinking about them or having feelings for them anymore. This heartbreak is when you're having a feeling come through your physical body because they are connected to you through that central point, right? So it's outside of feelings and thoughts. That's what twin flame is. It's not a logical. It's completely illogical in terms of how anybody could explain it in feeling or thought. It doesn't exist in that way. That's why it can't be explained that way, because it isn't. It's different. It's everything. It's vibration. It's every single chakra involved. It's a shared energy body, a shared vibration. So it's a physical feeling coming through everything. Queen of Swords, the mind of the feminine. Lovers, divine love. Devil, energy coming towards, two energies pulling together actually. It's equal, it's number 6 and they pull towards each other. That's number 6 as well, and they're pulling towards each other, right? So Queen of Swords, it's like in the mind, there's no way of explaining what goes on here through the mind. You can't, it's never about what the other person's done or what happened between them in a physical environment. It's an energetic connection. So it can't be explained through that. It can be dwelled on through that until the mind's cleared, but it can't be explained through that. Because you always come back to the same point, which is that no matter how much you let go, it still exists. Exists. And 5 of Cups, which is still standing. After numbers and numbers of years, these things still stand. These connections. Last one. And the ending of the battle. So it's the ending of the dark to the light. The battle of the fear ego and the heart. High heart, we should say, because it's source energy. High heart, 0 point. So it's ending of that. I think I've got to get one more out, actually. Head over heart. That's still not final card. Hang on. The moon. That's better. We've got a moon coming up next week. The end of this week, actually, I think it is now. And it's a Libra moon, so it's a really, really good moon. It's a really good moon for reconciliations, reunions, for brand new energy. It's an eclipse as well. So clearing the last of the fear ego away from the mind of the one that you're connected to, right? The energy coming through, divine love, through your mind, right? So if you're corded into your mind and you're corded into your ego and you start to fight against what you're going through in the physical, you're fighting against it and you're like, I just want this person. I don't want any of this experience that I'm going through. I just want that person. I just don't want this. I don't want to be here doing this. That's quite a natural point, right? It's also the end point at some point, because what you have coming through your mind is what's coming through their mind in terms of them opening the heart. And that's at all times. All right. So again, we're just getting closer and closer and closer. Different layers of this being revealed, different people coming into physical reunions as well, one after the other. and having it manifest. Let's get one more. Transforming, resistance. So it's just about it transforming the resistance, really. Resistance being the fear. And that fear of, the life is short. I won't achieve everything I want in my life. I won't have my desires met. So it's releasing the fear of that. And then it moves into the physical. To start all over again, basically, and to meet those desires. So I hope that helps some people. I just feel like I could just keep pulling them, actually. Three of Pentacles is growth in the physical world, and there is the Emperor, and that's the manifestation of the masculine. So, it's all what's coming about in the physical at some point. It has to be transformed, first of all. It's got to go through the transformation of understanding, basically, which is what is in that Queen of Swords. It's the transformation of understanding around what it actually is, and how it's not just a relationship with somebody. It will never leave you. It will always be there until they return. Okay, all right, that's it. Lots of love. If you wanted to book a personal reading, I have got the link to my website in the description box below, so it's got all the details there. Thank you. Lots of love. Bye.